how much do you know about the UK property market, and how and what are you looking to invest in the UK?
Okay, so for the UK, I've made some little investigation into how the property investment works. So I know that there are lots of things that you have to consider, and there are some things that your lender or borrower will consider before they can agree that you get a mortgage. So some of them say that you have to live for like 2 years in the UK, minimum of 2 years. Then you must be in a paying employment. You must be earning well.
That's when they say well.
Constant source of income.
Okay.
It's not really well. You have to earn well too, because your earning depends on the amount that your lender could borrow you. And it also depends on the house that you can mortgage. The amounts, whatever you are earning depends on the size of the house that you can mortgage. Like take for instance, if your earning is between 2,000 to 3,000, by the time they calculate it, you might end up just getting 1 bedroom house to buy, and it doesn't really count like we are used to in Nigeria. We are used to 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom houses and all of that. But another thing is location contributes to the amount that you'll be buying your house to in the UK. Take for instance, people living in up north, their houses are cheaper,
much cheaper.
Than we that we are here in the south.
I think north is almost like Nigeria, like the dynamics as well.
Yeah,
like the south is always more prosperous and than the north. And so, what do you want to invest in the UK? Have you which one are you thinking of? You told me you were thinking of an Airbnb, investing in Airbnb.
Yeah, I wanted to do Airbnb. In fact, I wanted to enroll for a tutorial or a webinar where I can learn about Airbnb investment. But I know that of recent, there was a law that came out about if you want to invest in Airbnb, the procedures that you have to go through and the amount that you have to remit to the government. You know how this country works. You pay tax on everything. So it's kind of
scared you.
Yeah, making me rethink, really worth it. So because there is a rule in the United Kingdom, if you want to buy your house for the first time, you can pay a deposit of 10%, first time buyer, and you'll be living in that house. But if it is an investment property, you pay 15% deposit. So if you are looking to buy a house of 350,000, if you're planning to live there, you have to pay 30,000 in deposit, 35,000 as a deposit. But if you are going to use it as an investment property, you pay more. And before you can raise 35,000 you can raise 35,000 in savings for your deposit. It takes a long time, and that is why I always encourage people, if you want to mortgage a house and you want to live in the United Kingdom, because the average earning of UK workers is like 2,000. Some people are even struggling to get to the 2,000 threshold. Let's just say between 1,500 to 3,000. So that 1,500 to 3,000, let's say if I want to mortgage and I'm going to stay in the house, it should be a house of 150,000.
Okay.
Do you get the equation?
So you're gonna put
that 150,000,
15,000 initial.
And you see that 150,000 at the moment in Reading, this location,
will even be nice.
You can't
place.
get a 1-bedroom flat. I went to view a 1-bedroom apartment. Okay, it was like 115. Okay, and I was like, okay, I could afford it, and even the monthly mortgage, I could be able to pay it. But when I went for the viewing, oh my God,
it was a cardboard box.
You need to see, this is the chair and this is the cooking table. It's just like you'll be in the sitting room and the person that is cooking will be by your side. I was like, oh no.
This country has a huge, they have a space problem.
They have it, and they too, I think, there, because you can even have the space problem and at the same time put a good plan in place. There are houses up north that are not too tiny like that. So I always advise that if you are a first timer, you want to buy your house in the UK, if you are married, well, another thing is if you are married, you can combine your income, and you can get a bigger house. But at the same time, if you are in the south, you pay more per month on your mortgage. Like take for instance, the 1-bedroom flat I was telling you about is an apartment, and for an apartment you'll be charged service fee every year. You'll be charged on
top of your mortgage.
Yeah, and the house is not totally yours. Is under leasehold.
It's leasehold.
So
that is a bad.
So
now, to explain for
Mm-hmm.
those of our users. So Nigeria, we have actually a leasehold sort of land use arrangement. So a leasehold means you still be paying ground rent, and at a particular point in time, it actually goes back to the original owner, which is usually the government. But in freehold, that's is in perpetuity. Both the property on top of it, the land on top of it, belongs to you. So leasehold properties are cheaper.
They are cheaper.
Yeah, but
and
then,
they come as a flat.
Yeah, but then there's this caveat, and you don't want to have but I think that's also one good thing about the UK. And you can actually have it for life.
Yeah, but for investments, if you can't afford to buy a house, and
in freehold, that's is in perpetuity. Both the property on top of it, the land on top of it, belongs to you. So leasehold properties are cheaper.
They are cheaper.
Yeah, but
and
then,
they come as a flat.
Yeah, but then there's this caveat, and you don't want to have but I think that's also one good thing about the UK. And you can actually have it for life.
Yeah, but for investments, if you can't afford to buy a house, and if you want a property that will sell on time, you can decide to go for a flat. If it is for investment, but when you are going for a flat, you should be careful about the remaining years on the leasehold.
Okay.
Because the lower the years that is remaining, the lesser the price of the house, the cheaper the house. So if you go for a year that is like 200 years on leasehold, you can't live you can't live up to 200 years.
But did they give are there leases up to 200 years?
No, but you can get like 197. I've seen 197, I've seen 180. Then there are some that
C of O in Nigeria is just 99 years.
This one you can see more than, because the one I was talking about was like I think 90 something or 101 years.
So you see that one in Nigeria, you'll be happy.
So within, what I'm just trying to say is that within let's say 5 or 10 years, you can remortgage the house and you sell it back to them.
So what do you mean by remortgaging?
So in remortgaging, let's say I bought this house for like 150,000. In
5 years.
In 5 years, the interest on that house will have come up. Let's say this house has come up to 165. Now from that 165, I can take I have 15,000 there.
Value.
So the value on the house is like 15,000. So I can take that my 15,000, then add another money to it and use it to get another property that is higher. Do you get it? Yeah. So because
they'll pay you that value of the 15,000.
Yeah.
That's the mortgage company that you're working with.
Yeah. But you know that money you borrowed it from the bank. So it's like they borrowed you 150. Now you're getting 165 back. But your actual money that you know that money you borrowed it from the bank. So it's like they borrowed you 150. Now you're getting 165 back. But your actual money that you know that is on that 165 is 15,000. 15,000 that is yours. So you can add money, then use it to buy something else. And because from your first house buying, you've entered into the property ladder, so it begins to favor you. Yeah. So they know that you are no longer a Johnny.
They can give you more credit.
Yeah. You're no longer a Johnny just come. You know how things work, and you even see people coming after you and be like, we have this offer for you. Our interest rate is this. Do you want to go into it? So the first thing is just entering the property ladder. But when you are entering the property ladder too, you have to open your eyes. It's easier said than done. You have to get good lawyers, mortgage advisors, because some people I heard people have lost their money in the course of getting a mortgage too. So you have to open your eyes.
How will that happen typically?
Well, I don't have an experience, but I heard in a group they were talking about these people that will offer you 5% initial deposit. Is it help to buy?
Yeah, there was a help to buy, but I think the government has stopped that help to buy.
Yeah, so there are still some people that are ready to offer you 5%. Yeah. But you see, on that 5%, you'll be paying more on your mortgage.
Yeah, monthly payments.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it doesn't worth it.
And then you may miss out on payments, and then you actually cancel out.
Yeah, and you will not be able to pay back. And if you can't pay back, the bank
everything that you collect everything.
Yeah, there's a terminology they use for it. The bank will
foreclose.
I can't remember now. So the bank goes there and take the houses. If you look on property search engines, you see some houses that it's not remortgage. There's a term they use for it. they are now selling them back now. So for people that got into the mortgage system, they are unable to pay it, and now they took it back. So you lose on your interest, you lose everything, and it will affect your credit score.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to do property, myself, I've not started. Don't think I'm not a pro. This is real estate, boss. Me, my mouth is just sharp
to know how.
And I've asked so many questions. Like my colleagues at work, they know me. Say, Abby, are you still looking for a house? Yes, I'm still looking for a house. It's not like I have the exact money at the moment, but that point, I'm just using it to get that knowledge. And from there, you see people that will come to you that, oh, check this site, check here, check this location. You know, some locations are better. You can get cheaper offers there and all of that. So if you want to go into real estate in the United Kingdom, make your findings well, get good lawyers, get good people that have been in the system. Like I have someone that has been in the system, and she's someone that is mentoring me. If I see any property and I'll be like, oh, I've seen this property, what do you say about it? I say, no, don't go for it. And she was one that even opened my eyes to the fact that flats and house is very different. Know what you want. Another thing is, if you have a family and you have combined income, you can afford to buy a better apartment up north. Go up north. The only thing is just job security and finding a well-paying job there. But I still believe that you'll get something there. But instead of paying too much in mortgage in the south, I feel, in my own opinion, it's just better to take that money up north. Buy something big, enjoy yourself, and pay little in mortgage.
UK is talking about leveling up, so they want to level up both the north and the south. So they're actually pumping us. Yeah, they are like, it's literally one of their policy directions. They're literally pumping money. But another thing I want to pick out is the fact that there's risk everywhere. You know, anybody that comes to, but if you want to invest in Nigeria, you know, she's even said this, if you want to invest in Nigeria, if you want to invest in UK, if you want